It's the home team taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Seattle Seahawks and our home team. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
His opponent goes up a notch here in this divisional round, but he's coming off such a sensational performance, I'm not sure he cares. 4 touchdown passes in the last game, and you'd have to imagine his head coach would sign up for that right now.
To throw is Morris on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And we'll see if that pick six looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why does it alter so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick six for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I got you.
Operating from the gun, Morris. Can't get away, and he's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. This one, the quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Here's Morris to throw on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Fielded at about the 28. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And possession will switch. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And here's a look at their leader.
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up so he could use the rest. And I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one. Because sometimes getting the rest is great, but sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rust as well. Maybe they come out flat, and they can't afford that in the postseason.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And at the 42-yard line here, brought down there.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all the and puts the defense back on its heels.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Britt's got it, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
That turns into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right. And after he ripped it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On a jet sweep, here comes Waddle. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 21. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And he's going to get this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 13-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
hands right. Watch tight. Check smash. Check smash. Three down. Odd.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Oilers add 6 to their lead. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout.
Don't say nothing. Hey, check Michael.
Now Morris on 1st and 10. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Morris. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. 2nd and 11.
In your face. Hey, check Michael.
From the gun, Morris. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
Three buzz.
Hey, check Michael.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
And that's patience to be admired right there, because he looks left, looks right, and waits for the right guy to come open, spots him in the middle of the field, and delivers.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
You don't want nothing.
And now some motion. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And that'll set him back 5.
Let's go.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Check Michael.
Looking to throw. Morris. That caught by Tremble. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, keep throwing it, you break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Second and 10.
Hey. Four down.
Back to the game with Jacobs. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
You're all mine, baby.
Back to throw. Morris. In trouble, and he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. A couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they felt like they could take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. That is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. And touchdown. A big play there. 46 yards. The Warriors continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half. And now that's the point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. But this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs from the gun. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run.
Touchdown! Josh Jacobs, 29 yards. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. Now the try here for the point after. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. The home side once again ready to take over offensively. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
The run on 1st down gets him a couple up to the 27. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
8 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. He's under the rest, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of it. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bird. And the Seahawks are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Jacobs, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 5 yards yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Back to throw. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Under crunch.
Now Waddle on the jet sweep. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him now as he makes the first half of this divisional round matchup. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs. Able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Check pass.
Safe.
Giving to the big tight end on 4th. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Oilers would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports halftime report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. But first, let's take a look back to Saturday's NFC divisional round game. And you can see the result there. We're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Gadd.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
The protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out
and made a really nice play.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively, you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll set up a throw. Flush to his right. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. It's complete to Fuller. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Man up, D. Mike 10.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Fuller. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he will have the 1st down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hey, turn it up, turn it up.
He'll get that out wide to Waddle.
And he's brought down.
I'll tell you what, this offense has been a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a... keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
Check 50.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Oilers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
This morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
Tyler Bass now for the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
Let's go.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
A nice toss play there to the left. More than enough room to move the chains.
And you know what I love about that play as a broadcaster? Seeing the big guys move. Seeing them get upfield and take out defenders. You know what I hated as a defensive back?
What?
That exact same thing. Seeing those linemen coming downfield, getting ready to blot out the sun.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Check 48's the mark.
Looking to throw. Morris. Open man left side. It's the tight end Trimble. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they have. They're tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Teams have a tough time running the ball as this one has throughout this game. It's so easy to say, forget it, let's throw the football. But that's exactly why you stay with the running game. Eventually, you stick with it, you make some adjustments, you often find a way to run the ball better as the game goes on.
Hey, we gonna like the 48 right now. Let's go. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you.
Morris now throwing on first down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
SOS.
On second down now, it's Jacobs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
The despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Tackle by A.J. Epinesa.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Here's Jacobs. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Josh Jacobs saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Taking it about the 1. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 65 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Hey, you got 3.
With the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 3.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. 3 down.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, this is taken.
You know they pay me
It's
extra for
complete.
this.
Touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 71 yards. And the Oilers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. Trip to the NFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Coming after you. 48. 48's the mic.
Back to throw. Morris. He finds his man. Complete. It's Jacobs. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Hey, don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. Better bring it. You better bring it. Letting you know right now, you better.
Operating from the gun. Morris. Pressure comes and down he goes. A.J. Epinesa drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to look deep for more. And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. The Seahawks go for it, but can't convert. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line.
Play it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
Stank.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
And I say this with love.
Friend, even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw it.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Oilers are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this 4th quarter lead. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
An extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. This taken in at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard.
Bunch formation. Come on, boys, come on.
Throwing to start the drive. Morris toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Orlando losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. And you can say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you used the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
The Seahawks send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. He'll take it at the 42. The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The home side once again ready to take over offensively. And it would appear that that first-round bye certainly helped. They've looked fresh from the start and no letdown here as they lead big in this divisional round and they look to book a spot in the conference championship. 72 yards for him on the ground now and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. The kick by Bass is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Now we will get another look at Seattle's offense. They knew this would be tough on the road divisional round, and that has certainly been the case with the deficit they face in this 4th quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
You gotta get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Throwing to start the drive. Morris. There's Tremble, the tight end. That catch good for only a couple. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Hey, we got 4.
Morris to throw on 2nd down. He'll find Swift out of the backfield. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Blue Dan. 48 Mike. 48 Mike.
To throw is Morris on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line.
48 to Mike. Hey, alert 48. Alert. Hey, we got Mike to 48 right
They'll
now.
look to throw again. Throw here by Bird. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Touchdown, Seahawks. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to 24. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, I think the Seahawks got it. They did. It's Seattle football. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Here's Morris on 1st and 10. He's going to get that to Swift underneath. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Now a stoppage, and oh boy, we've got Mayfield shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. Back to throw again. Morris fighting. He lost the football. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Now Morris looking to throw on 2nd down. Touchdown! Devin Duvernay from 8 yards out. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. The Seahawks offense staying put out on the field. They're going to go for 2. They'll try and throw for it.
Back to you.
Morris fighting. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that two-point attempt failed due to the fumble, but people that can't see this, but you got a ball in your hands now, and you've got the thing locked in pretty well. You got it covered up.
I love having a football in the booth. I always hang on to it. Makes me feel like I actually played back in my day.
Well, you probably could have. If you had run that play, you would not have fumbled, I can tell you that.
Maybe.
Jim, hurt. 25.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Oilers are able to widen their advantage. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this? They saw something that they thought they could take advantage of. The key is calling it in the right situation. Knowing when it exists to go to it, they did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, get that water break and get on out there and play.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
First, I'd rather see the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Seahawks again now ready to take over on offense. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. I'm curious to see how they actually go about doing it, because
There are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Morris now throwing on first down. He finds his man complete. That's Jacobs. And he gets this up across the 35 before 3 yards the gain there, second down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. And they have secured a spot in the conference championship, and now you can start to smell it at this point in the season, can't you?
You really can, because the focus has been one game at a time, not looking ahead. But when you get to the conference championship game and you know you're there, the Super Bowl does loom in the future.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that,